Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Ron Howard from xTreme Sequences. Back at it again, bringing you an exclusive look at my icicles. I love icicles. I'm so happy with the performance of these guys this year. I had some challenges. I know I did. You've seen some of them. I'm going to share with you some things that happened with these guys. We'll look at that, and we'll talk about maybe some ways to keep this from happening. Don't let these big cracks here freak you out. This particular set here was kind of put through the ringer. I don't have any of these cracks like this on any of my icicles that are using this on the house. I've been upstairs, I've been downstairs, and these guys are holding up really well. How did these guys hold up so well, and what happened to my icicles, these singles up there? Again, I'm going to bring you some drone footage. We're going to get really close and personal and take a look at what happened with the way I had those things set up there and why the wind blew them to smithereens. I can't blame the coral here, this ABS. I had some icicles go out, the lights, and I was trying to determine what's going on with the lights. Is it the wire? Is the wire really thin? And it's not so much that the wire's thin. I think the wire's okay. That's not my specialty, but I think they're the same thickness. I don't know if they're 18 or 20 gauge. Don't really care. I know that I had over 300 and stuff of them off of one run and didn't have any issues. Outside of a few other icicle pixels going out, the biggest problem was way up here from the winds that blew these singles just to pieces. But everything else worked fine. So let's talk about the good things that were great about this. A simple solution for me was to use staples. And I know some of you guys are laughing about this, but I had a staple gun, I had lots of staples, and it worked. You'll notice that I had to cut down some of that. Actually, I don't know if you can see here, but up higher, I had to cut the material down to make it fit. You'll see here, I cut this because it was too close under some of the gutters. And I wanted this to line up just so you could barely see this, if at all. My suggestion would be for the future, what I will do next year, is use some type of system where I employ washers. Something a little bit better than the staples. I know, maybe I went too redneck on my assembly here, but I did grow up in East Texas, in my defense. But it worked, and these didn't move at all. And I had crazy windstorms, and every one of these under the eaves done like this didn't move. These things are just rock solid. And if these don't move too much, then the cabling, the wire doesn't move too much, and it doesn't get twisted, and we don't have any lights go out that we can blame on Mother Nature. So I was really trying to be smart with putting up this stuff. And you guys know me and tools. I can't even pronounce the name of most of the tools I work with. That's just not my strength. So again, if I could do stuff like this, anybody can do it, and you can improve upon it greatly. But for a simple fix, the staples absolutely work. And this stuff will be easy to pull off, I hope. I won't videotape that. But anyway, what we'll do is we'll segue here just a moment to go up and look at the drone. A lot of you know that I drilled thousands of holes the year before for my 2016 show, and this was very effective for my outlines. And what I ended up doing up top on that little A section of my house was putting those pixels that were sticking out of that just like this. And these were just singles, so I didn't have a strip across the top, just the singles. And the problem with that was these things flopped all around. It was just a bloody mess. And all that still has to come down. But over here, this section here took some of the worst wind and there's nothing up there damaged. As far as I know, none of those pixels ever came out because it's a real tight fit with those pixels, with this material, and they work great. All right, enough being long-winded with the Icicle. I'll segue from here so you can see some drone footage and then wrap up. Hold on. Well, here we are above the ground using my drone to get us a better viewpoint to see what madness I had to deal with during these winds this year. If you look closely, you'll see that I have wire hanging on for dear life, wrapped around anything it can get a hold of just to keep things up there. If I didn't have the weight of the icicles on that PVC holding my pixels for my outlines, I would not have had crooked lines for that A-frame section there. And unfortunately, that's the option I went with first. And in my attempt to fix it, I tried to tape things together, and that didn't work. If I was going to do this again, and of course I will, I would try some other way of mounting these icicles. I would put them on the other side of the eave, and I would use a washer for each one of them and make sure they do not move. Similar to what I shared with you earlier, if they're able to flop around in the breeze, they are going to potentially fall apart. And really it depends on what type of weather you have. We had really bad winds, the worst we've ever seen, and it caused the ABS to just basically snap at the eyelets. So something to think about when planning your icicles. I absolutely love the look of the icicle, so I'm not trying to take away from that, but really plan ahead to make this safe. This is not a fun thing to get up and have to fix after the fact. So hopefully we can find some good answers out there from people watching this. All right, guys, thanks so much. Have a great day.